Welcome back, Smart Start Radio family. Before we get into our latest amazing episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor. With spectacular hotels, amazing theme parks, and unparalleled entertainment, Universal Orlando Resort offers a meeting destination unlike anything else in the world. How's it going, Smart Start Radio? I'm your host, Eming Piansay, straight off the lift, straight off the plane to Mandalay Bay in Vegas for the IMEX 2025. Really excited to be here. Our whole team's here. Super excited to let you guys know what trends you guys should be thinking about, new things emerging for meetings and events. Really excited to get into it. Stay tuned for a really interesting show, I promise you. So I'm so excited because this is my first IMEX, first guest of IMEX for the Smart Start Radio coffee chat. I almost didn't think this was going to happen because I've been so busy with IMEX. Like in my mind, I was like, I'm going to have a chat with someone or multiple people. It's going to be amazing. Then life just took over and my schedule got insane. But I'm really excited to welcome to Smart Start Coffee Chat, Aviva Kohen from Tourism Calgary, who I met initially on my fam trip there, I want to say last year.
It was a year ago.
And Aviva, who is just amazing in herself. Like, she's just super kind. I'm not just saying this either. But you are. You're super kind. You were just like super open and just nice. I got to eat so many good foods in Calgary. Just that alone was like, because I'm half Asian, so it's like immediately I'm like, I get it. Like, this is the spot to be. This is the place to be. And so when you kind of just found me randomly in the press room the other day, I was like, this must be a sign. Aviva will be the first guest on this IMEX adventure that I'm on, because it's both our first time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was told to prepare myself, and I don't think I was ready for it.
Why? Why is that?
I just didn't expect it to be so large, so many, so much thought put into all of the booth,
right?
Which is amazing. I've been enjoying getting my steps in and walking the floor.
Right. Same. I think the first day I had like 16,000.
Same. Exactly.
I was like, wow, I did not realize it was going to be that much. But I was like, okay, they were right. The people were right. You will walk at IMEX and the steps counts will definitely show it. I'm assuming before you came here, you heard stories of like what it's like to be at IMEX and what like you would potentially experience. Did it kind of match the vibe of what you did experience, or was it kind of like your own version of how you felt so far during this event?
Yeah, it's been really neat for me because I'm here from a media and storytelling perspective. Yeah. And so just being able to talk to what I would think are my competitors in terms of other destinations, but everybody's been so open and welcoming and happy to share kind of their experiences and what they're doing in their booth and what they sell and what they talk about. Yeah. And it's really helping me for Calgary find those stories that really suit this MICE market. And that's really, I'm here to learn, to connect with writers in the meeting space. Yeah. And so, it's been really nice how warm and open people have been. And then I've been able to have all these amazing conversations at the Tourism Calgary booth with buyers about our destination, which is kind of not my particular role here, but I'm so passionate about our destination. Yeah. So that's been really fun as well, and really having conversations because a lot of what I do is on the leisure side. So just really understanding this space and what motivates decisions on where people send their different events. Yeah. It's been so educational, and we're not even done. I'm staying to the very bitter end.
Wow, you're a soldier for that. I don't know if I could. I took like a 10-minute break to just sit and ground myself in the corner. So I was like, I'm so overstimulated. I'm so exhausted. My legs are so tired. And I've been talking to so many people. I'm just like, my social battery is like at -5. Like, I'm the oldest Apple iPhone known to man at this point in time. At least that's what it feels like. But the interesting thing is like, I've been working in this industry for like about 3 years now. And it's so funny to me walking around the floor, just like, I know no one here. It's like the ratio of people I know is like -5 at this point. But like the first person I saw was Mike Dominguez. And I was like, I know him. Yeah. Or I know of him. this being your first time, like what's like the one thing that you've learned for yourself that you feel like when you come back later in time that you'll like help you kind of, reassess how you, operate in this kind of space?
Yeah, I think for me, having meetings set, I think I wasn't taking specific appointments. I really was using this as an education and wandering the floor. Okay. So I think it might be nice going forward to have that opportunity to really, I had a couple, but I think I would try to fill more of my schedule so that I could have those really dedicated, in-depth conversations. I've been able to have them, but it's been impromptu. And so I think going forward, that would be beneficial for me to be able to do that and talk to some of these travel writers in the MICE space.
Yeah, I I definitely had like an idea in my head, like, okay, I have a schedule, I have people I need to see. I was with you at a happy hour when I realized I had two other things that were just like intersecting at the same time. So I said, Aviva, I will be right back. Give me like 15 minutes. And I like ran to do my thing and came back and I'm like, that worked out more or less. But yeah, it's a very interesting experience. And based on the fact that, you kind of got to like roam and just kind of experience it and not have to like have these like schedules that like might break your brain in some capacities. Like I'm sure it was for people who did have like a scheduled time, you definitely had a different experience in that. But what's one thing that you learned that in that kind of, free form knowledge scape that you feel was like helpful for you and how you can speak on your city and your org and what you're trying to do?
Maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but I was kind of the spy for the Tourism Calgary team. We dubbed it unofficial spy. So one of the things I did, which isn't really in my particular role, but it was just because I had that flexibility for year one, which I think is a nice recommendation to people, is not overschedule yourself for year one, was that I was able to go and get some ideas for gifting, get some ideas for the booth, get some ideas for the way people were dressed, their uniforms. So I took a whole bunch of notes, quite a few pictures, some videos, and I'm bringing that back to share with the team. So even though that's not really my specific role, I just was supporting our team as a whole. And I think that for me was educational, but also hopefully helpful for them as well for building on what we're doing this year.
I definitely think you guys should incorporate the pancakes into your next year. That's
a great idea.
That's like your selling point. I mean, that's the thing I still want to experience about Calgary. Because you guys talk about so much. And I'm like, why am I not here for that? I love pancakes. And so,
great idea.
That would actually be really fun. I don't know how you would do it because that might require a lot of like pre-prep and like space and maybe fans. I don't know.
I feel like we could do it. I like it.
For people who don't know what I'm talking about, can you kind of lightly summarize what the pancake?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's actually been a tradition for about 103 years, give or take a year, in Calgary. And it was originally started during the Calgary Stampede as a way to draw visitors to the chuck wagon races. So one of the chuck wagon drivers, Jack Morton, and he had a pet badger. I have to point this out because I think it's the most hilarious sidebar detail. He set up his chuck wagon and a camp stove on the back in the middle of what is now Stephen Avenue and now a pedestrian street. And he was flipping what they called flapjacks at the time, but they're pancakes, and trying to entice people to come to the rodeo, to the new chuck wagon races. And so it became a tradition. And now there are hundreds of them over 10 days during the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth, every July. And you can eat free pancakes for 10 days at many, many parks and parking lots around the destination. And what I love about them is they're very inclusive. They're free. And they also bring in different cultures. So, for example, the Ismaili community, they incorporate pigeon, which is a traditional food for them. So people can try it and learn about their culture. There's a Japanese restaurant, Omo, and they give out free pancakes, and they're green tea pancakes. And
so want that.
And so you could really go on a pancake crawl for 10 days and eat so many. I think there's something like 250,000 pancakes served over this 10 days every year. There was a Guinness World Record broken at a shopping mall in 2025 during Stampede for the most pancakes served. So we're really passionate, and it brings together people from all races, newcomers, visitors from around the world. So it's really a part of our our welcoming nature, our Western culture.
Yeah.
And you can have pancakes year round at many restaurants as well if you're not here during Stampede time.
Yeah.
I say here. We're in Vegas. I mean, in Calgary. But yeah, it's such a fun thing to do, and it really brings together community. There's always live entertainment, all of this. So yeah, it's a really fun, kind of quirky thing. I can't think of any other destination that does free parking lot pancakes.
Yeah, I don't think, I really doubt that's a thing. No, I really doubt that. But the one thing about you guys that seems like it's very on brand for at least this event and you guys, that you guys are all about that kind of like, you know, people coming together, and you guys basically shut the city down during Stampede, and essentially Vegas in a sense shuts down, not literally, for IMEX, because, you know, it's different people coming together to share an exchange of thought and experiences, and it's not that far off from what you guys do. In some ways, it's very similar. You guys bring together people from all walks of life within your community, and this is the same thing.
Yeah, and I think that's, to your point, it's such a neat feeling to be in a space like IMEX, which is a massive space, and everybody spreads out on the off hours, but there's still groupings of people together. But we're all here for the same reason, and we're all really proud to be in the event space, in the destination marketing space. And I think there's something that when you come together with people that are like-minded and trying to do the same thing, there's like an energy that you get. So my feet are tired, but I'm also really energized. Like, it's the weird, I mean, I'm a highly extroverted person. So this kind of stuff really fires me up, and I go back with all of these ideas and thoughts. And so, yeah, I'm really, really glad that I came and got to experience it. It is, people kept saying like, it is big and there's a lot going on. And it's even more than I expected.
Yeah, I definitely did. There's at least a section of the floor I did not get to.
The whole middle section still.
Yeah. I think I went right, I went left, and then there's the whole other side. I don't even know what's there. Like past Los Angeles, I have no idea. That's fair. I never know what's beyond Los Angeles on a normal day. So that actually makes sense. But one thing we talk about at our magazine a lot is, you know, like, how people feel because, like, you know, we were locked down for so long after COVID, and now we're kind of back to business now because time has thankfully passed. But like, being here and being your first time, like, what's the one thing you feel like you've felt or learned in these like past 2 days that has kind of like made you like rethink like how you want to approach like how you speak like for events and media and all the things that you encompass for Calgary?
Yeah, I think it's really been learning, and even actually, I was going to say learning from the people on the floor, but I would even say learning from the Tourism Calgary delegates that are here. So we've got some convention center partners, we've got some hotel partners, and even hearing the language they use when they're talking to and in their appointments. And I'm being, again, kind of like a spy and a little creepy maybe because I'm hovering around.
Maybe, Aviva, you're too nice to be creepy.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. But I've been, you know, just kind of listening. And how are we talking about our destination? What are the things that are inspiring people to want to come to Calgary? And so just hearing from a meetings lens, because I am so focused quite often on the leisure side, this is, just understanding from the other, again, spying on the other tables and delegates and booths. But then even within our own Tourism Calgary booth, just really listening and trying to learn and take it all in.
Right.
That's really helped me, I think, in the way I'll position some of the stories that we have to share.
Yeah. So I'm curious, I think we may have spoken about this before, but when you do pitch Calgary, like, what's the thing that people like latch onto is like, ooh, this is really interesting. And like, of course I would consider bringing my event here because of blah, blah, blah reason.
Yeah. And there's a couple of different things. So one thing, and I think particularly right now, and you and I were talking about this a little bit yesterday, is that whole idea of, given kind of the political landscape without getting into politics and everything, but just really that Calgary is one of the friendliest cities in the world, and we're very welcoming. We have that whole tradition of a white hat ceremony, which I know you've experienced. Yes. And we really want, especially American associations and planners and delegates, to understand and feel Canada as a whole, but Calgary specifically is very welcoming. We're very safe. We want you there. Yeah. And so I think that's one of the things, is really talking about that, given just where we are today. But then on a kind of evergreen angle, we talk a lot about some of the things to do outside of a conference. And so things like the proximity to the mountains. We're an hour and 15 minutes from Banff National Park, which is really, it's a day trip away and it's a bucket list item for people around the world. So there's that whole kind of proximity for, which is attractive for delegates to want to come to our destination. And then within Calgary, and you mentioned it yourself, is our food.
Yes.
I think people don't realize what our food scene has to offer. It's, I love that kind of surprise when people that I get to host experience our culinary scene and are surprised pleasantly. So we like to talk about our culinary scene and some of those things that people don't expect when they come to our destination, and then just kind of, are pleasantly surprised and excited to go and tell everybody about their experience in our destination.
Yeah, regarding the food, I can't remember which restaurant you took us to, but there was that one, it was with the really great view. You were up top and then the cops came and I was like, what happened? Why is there... They're like doing like a security check or something. Yeah. But the food there, I thought about for months.
That was Major Tom, wasn't it?
I think so.
Major Tom.
It was like for months after I left Calgary, I was like, there was one, I can't remember which dish it was. It was so good. I kept thinking about it. I was like, delicious.
I love their Major Tots. I'm sure I made you guys
that might have been it. It was
Major
something.
Tots.
It was something along those. It was definitely an earthy dish.
Okay.
I was like, this was amazing.
Yeah.
And I wish I could bring it home with me.
We won't ramble on all the different dishes to see if we can figure it out. But I love Major Tom. It's on the 40th floor in an office tower. And it opened actually during the pandemic. And it was impossible to get into.
Really?
Because it was so popular and it's still really hard to get into.
Wow.
Because
I'm very lucky.
Yeah, you're very lucky. And they can cordon off part of the restaurant so it can be open for business events and delegates and things like that, which is really nice because of its proximity to the Calgary TELUS Convention Center. It's about 3 blocks away. So it's got the views, it's got the proximity, it's got the food and the vibes. It's Major Tom, it's like that David Bowie 70s kind of vibe, but classy.
Yeah.
Not that David Bowie wasn't classy. I'm trying to paint a picture with my words.
You're fine. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. So I guess before we just kind of wrap up, is there anything that you feel like the Smart Meetings, Smart Start Radio, Coffee Chat people would love to know about what's going on in Calgary right now? Anything that you think is important or newsy or trendy that's happening? I know there's a lot going on in the world, and I'm sure you guys have a lot going on overall, but is there anything particular that you feel like is like this one thing that we're doing right now is super cool and we just want to share?
Yeah, I do have it. First of all, this isn't my thing, but as an aside, Calgary's the fastest growing city in Canada. And so there are so many things because of how fast our population is growing that are happening as a result of that. And one of the things is that we've got so much going on in terms of major infrastructure projects over the next 5 years. And a lot of them are tied to arts, culture, entertainment, visitation. So next year we have the Glenbow Museum opening, which is absolutely going to be an incredible, very all-inclusive space, free admission for everyone forever, thanks to a large donation.
Nice.
And then the year after, we have the new Calgary Arts and Entertainment Center will be opening on Stampede Park, which will be all of our sporting events, as well as concerts, as well as convention events there, right across from the BMO Center. And then the year after, we have the Workland Center, which is all dedicated to arts and entertainment. And then the year after that, some major hotel projects, a JW Marriott, a W Marriott. There's just some major projects pretty much every year. And a lot of them are tied to all of these, our capacity and our ability to host large-scale groups and really tied to arts, entertainment, culture, which I think is such a nice part of our destination to be able to show off. So not only will we have amazing food, but soon we'll have this amazing, amazing new arts, culture, entertainment facilities. So very excited to keep talking about those as they get closer to fruition.
Well, thank you so much for being my first guest on my on the road IMEX podcast was never done before for Smart Stars. This is actually really new territory for me, so I'm really excited to do this. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I'm really excited to see you again and talk about Calgary because I really, really wholeheartedly really loved that city when I was visiting.
Oh, I love it. And I love that you're such an advocate for it. So this was my pleasure. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Hey, Smart Start Radio. Welcome back. We wanted to bring back the band together from our last coffee chat, Malik Anderson and David Lytle, to discuss our time we had at IMEX. We were all there, actually. First time I think that's ever happened, at least in a while that I'm aware of. And we all got to explore. I barely saw David. I think I saw him like twice. Malik, I saw for like a good 3 hours.
Yeah, I had a lot of appointments. I tried to schedule some downtime in between, but I think I really had like a 20-minute period where I could sit by myself and like charge my phone.
Yeah, I definitely had to like sit in a corner to like make myself chill out because there's just so much going on. Like my brain was just like, you need to get away from everything for like 10 minutes just to like resync yourself because there was just so many things going on and I just needed like just time to just like be still.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot.
It was. What I wanted to get into at first, since Malik, you've been to IMEX several times now. David, this is your first time. I just kind of want to get a sense of like how you both felt about the experience. Like, was it life-changing? Was it just like a lot of information all at once that you're still trying to process? Because I know I still am. But I kind of just want to get a sense about how you both kind of, felt after and
Yeah. This was my fourth time going.
Wow. Okay.
It's, kind of like the same thing as last year. You kind of meet a lot of people that you like talk to over email pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of familiar faces. It's always cool to see everyone in person. Last year I did a lot of interviews like you guys did this year. I only attended the press conferences this year.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just as cool. There were a lot of updates on cities like Puerto Rico and Cincinnati. Yeah, it was a good time overall. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I enjoy it every year.
Nice.
Yeah,
How about you, David?
I wasn't quite sure what to expect when they said it was, 15,000 of our closest friends. This year, the attendance was actually 17,000, so the largest one ever.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
To be honest, I wish that I had more time. It's hard to attend something for the first time with absolute intention. I got in a lot of good interviews. I think I made some deep connections. I keep having a nightmare that I have forgotten to follow up with someone, but I lost that business card.
That is a fear. That is definitely a fear.
But just the chain of emails afterwards has been really sort of rewarding. And, it's more sources for quotes for articles moving forward and opportunities for 2026. And it was nice to sort of start connecting the business side of smart meetings with the editorial side, talking about planning, events for 2027.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
You also went to the Future Leaders Forum, right? What was that like and how was it formatted?
It's an all-day event. It's invitation only. You have to have a sponsor, basically. These are college kids from around the world. Okay. I think they're all in their senior year. They might be juniors and seniors, but they're getting ready to graduate and enter the workforce. Okay. And, this is Gen Z. They're going to be 30% of the workforce in the near future, I think by 2030. Right. And so this is an opportunity for them. Like they were welcomed to the event by the founder of IMEX. He was there. Roy, I think is his first name. I should know that. And then there was Christy Renee was the moderator. She's really dynamic and she, brought anybody who might have had any reservations about participating out of their shell.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They had a couple of sessions where they had speakers and then probably and the part I got to sit in on, they do these roundtables where they have 10 different industry experts, like a hotel manager or a travel agent or a content creator from one of our competitors to sit down and talk to them about like what are all the opportunities within the meetings and hospitality industry. And they had really meaningful questions. I think one of the best ones I heard was, how do I enter into the workforce and bridge the gap between my generation and someone who might be in their 40s or 50s and being taken seriously? I think it's just sort of a general anxiety.
Yeah.
Someone talked about having imposter syndrome, and the way I read it, I think they thought it was only something that applied to their generation, where
no,
not true.
Definitely not. I had that every single day of my life.
Yeah. Having imposter syndrome can be a good thing because what it's telling you to do is to, check something again. It's not saying, oh, I'm a failure or a phony. It's more like, oh, have I covered all the bases? Did I, cross all my T's and dot my I's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of telling you like there are ways that you can be better at what you're doing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The opposite of Dunning-Kruger effect.
Right. You don't want to be overconfident.
Right.
No, that's fair. Did they talk about any of the trends that we've been following at all? Like, I'm curious, just because since it was a whole room of them just together, having thoughts, was there anything that you heard that reflects on anything that we've been working on lately?
There were some questions, especially there was a travel agent who was speaking about how to plan incentive travel, teaching a group of kids, and I shouldn't say kids, they're young adults, like what is an incentive trip? Why does it exist? Why is it a special category? And they had a lot of questions around the planning part of it, like how far ahead do you have to start? How do you, she gave an example of the top salespeople for BMW get invited to go on a great American road trip. Where are they going to go? Are they going to do California? Are they going to do the American Southeast? How is it going to be structured? What are the members of the group like? What do they want? And then how do you make everyone happy? But they also wanted to know, how do you know what are popular destinations? Mm-hmm. Where do you go? And they ask, where do you go for your trends? And she had some information, publications, major newspapers, magazines. I'd sort of report on that, us, because we report on that. So that was nice to hear. It was, as a group, they were super curious. And that's what I really appreciated about it. And they were open to exposing themselves and taking risks by speaking up.
Do you think that they would be open to being on our show to talk about that kind of stuff? Because I feel like that's a very interesting topic that we could exploit to our fullest ability.
So I'm working on that. Hannah Lee, who created the Future Leaders Forum for IMEX, like a lot of people, is taking this week off after IMEX.
Fair.
And then I'm having a meeting with her the following week, and we're going to talk about getting her on a podcast, getting some of the students on a podcast.
That's exciting. Cool.
And to figure out what their view is for the future.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's important because things are evolving quickly, speedily, and we're seeing the industry shift and change due to a lot of things that are happening in the world. So it'd be cool to kind of get their hot takes, if you will, on that. Yeah. But I'm also curious, what's one thing that you guys wish you had been able to do while you're at IMEX? I mean, I didn't go beyond LA. I saw the LA sign and I don't know what's beyond the LA sign on that floor. So is there anything that you guys didn't get to explore that you wish you had been able to see while you're, because it was huge. It was massive. I don't even know where the end was, quite honestly. Yeah. But was there anything that you guys, wish you had seen while you were there?
I kind of wished I'd shot by a couple of more booths. Like I saw that some people were there on LinkedIn and I didn't even know that they were there. Like even like I live in Henderson and I saw Visit Las Vegas on LinkedIn, but I didn't even go over there to say hi or anything. So it's just a massive exhibit hall. So it was kind of hard to see everything and everybody. But
I tended to see a lot of destinations in the Future Leaders Forum. I didn't get to connect with some hotel groups that I really wanted to connect with. I really wanted to get a meeting in with the Japanese Tourism Board, and that didn't happen this year, and that's okay. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It is so massive. I was very grateful for the press room, though, because they had giant chocolate chip cookies. Yes. And that kind of fueled my day.
I was like, free cookies? I'm down. I'm down for free cookies.
But I have to say, the people I did meet with, go ahead, Malik.
No, I said they went quick. They
did.
Go back to the press center to get 4 cookies, and they were gone. I was pretty upset.
I know. I was in there a couple times when they were replacing them, so they had to be restocked.
Yeah.
But I have to say, with the time that I had some confusion in the morning, and I got there on the floor 5 minutes for my first appointment.
God.
But I made it, wiped the flop sweat off my brow, and turned on the charm and had a nice meeting.
Yeah, it was interesting to like when we're talking to different orgs and, you know, as us, and then when we are with like our sales team, it's a very different feeling. Very interesting because you get to see the two sides of it. Like, you know, they have these goals in mind of what they want, and then we have our goals of like, we want to create good content. And then we're like, okay, so how do these intersect? Like, how can we be more supportive of you in a way that makes us both happy? So I think that's one thing that I personally wish I had experienced more, is just kind of like more of the intersection between how we can create content that is more helpful in that respect.
Yeah, and I think that was something we all came away with. It was nice having a couple of sessions where I had a salesperson talking about the event side of the business or ad sales side of the business or, you know, destination sponsorship of an actual meeting. And that's, you know, as a whole business, you're always learning what other people do in their job. And it's nice to find ways to be supportive of one another. And I think next year we'll have more intentionality about that.
Yeah, for sure. Malik, since you've done this so many times now, what would you hope for the future in terms of like going to IMEX and kind of experiencing it in a different way than you have in the past 4 other years that you've done it?
I think every time it's really tough to kind of have an idea of exactly what you want to do. Kind of like what David was saying earlier.
Yeah.
He kind of has an idea now of what he'll do next year. But at least for me, I kind of find that a little difficult to do. You're never exactly sure where the distance is between the booths, so it's kind of hard to get from one to the other. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I find it kind of hard to tackle year by year.
I did the geolocation ability in the
that was very
app.
helpful. I love that app.
Yeah. I like some things about that app. I wish it had synced with my Outlook calendar, and then I would have had all the appointments in my face. But you can always wish for new things next year. That. Yeah.
Maybe. Fingers crossed. But it was helpful. I definitely felt like I was in a video game. Like I played way too much Assassin's Creed. I was like, okay, where is my next quest? Just running down the aisles.
Yeah, in your first timer article, you were talking about the IMEX map.
Yeah. Because that was how I got around. I'm like, I have no idea where anything is. And I pray to God this map gets me there. I would like go and then I'm like, nope, turn. But overall, it was helpful enough.
It had a sense of geography to it. Like, you know, continents were organized around one another. That was helpful. I knew if I was just going to be visiting American destinations that I just Visit California anchored the whole thing because they're the largest. And so if I kept that sign in my site, I kind of had an idea of where I was. I did a lot of visiting with some European countries, so I made sure that those were all sort of in the same block of time, so I don't have to go very far. And I guess that's the one smart thing that I did, because, you know, some of it was just flying by the seat of your pants, trying to get from one place to another.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was kind of bummed that we didn't do this at IMEX together, but then I realized, I don't know, that would have been like a mess trying to coordinate that based on all our schedules. We're just like, David's here, Malik's here, and I don't know where. I didn't even see Kate. I'm imagining her the entire time I was there. So I saw JT a bunch of times.
She is everywhere. I did a walk with her on Tuesday afternoon between like 4 and 5 as things are starting to wind down and like the wine is starting to open. And I think she hugged 25 people in 30 minutes and most of them were coming up to her.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Yes. She's our own, she's like her own Facebook.
Yes.
Or whatever, or TikTok, or whatever app you want to call her. She's that social media that everyone just knows.
She is a network.
Yeah, she is where everyone
to herself.
gathers.
She is her own network. Sorry, what, Malik?
She's where everyone gathers.
Yes. That's accurate.
There were 2 women who approached me sort of hesitantly when we were doing the Toast to Excellence because they were unaware of what smart meetings was. But they heard all this commotion. And they were like, people were laughing and being loud. Yeah. But they were like, people were laughing and being loud, and we had to figure out what it was about. And then you handed me champagne. Yeah. But it was great. They were friends. One worked for a company that was acquiring the other person's company for ad sales. It's McCann Advertising Agency. They're huge.
Oh, yes. Sounds familiar.
They've been around for a long time, as featured in Mad Men.
Yes,
I've had friends
that's
who've
why I
worked for
know.
them.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're a rival agency. But they ended up like going over to the booth and like talking to salespeople and getting contacts. And that was just sort of, kismet.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm used to like just being a nobody. And so people like talk to me, I'm like, you want me? Like, I'm just an editor. Like, I'm not any important, but like at least twice it happened. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm kind of important in this space right now. So it was kind of interesting to like people actually seek you out, which is not normal in most cases, I feel. So being at IMEX for that reason was pretty cool, I think, as an editor. Yeah,
absolutely. Because our jobs can be kind of faceless and thankless because we often have our heads buried on, a piece of paper or a laptop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you guys want to offer your 2 cents on?
And I look forward to it next year, being able to execute even better.
Definitely.
Well, I appreciate you both for doing a little wrap up for this episode on your thoughts and feelings about IMEX 2025. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we can actually do this at IMEX next year and not a week after. That's the goal.
We can schedule a booth. Maybe next year we can each bring somebody into the booth for a group chat.
Yes, we should do that. Okay, next time
talk about a
theme.
This
way more intentionally next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you guys both again, and we'll see you guys next year at IMEX 2026 in Las Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, bye everybody.
You've been listening to Smart Start Radio, a Smart Meetings production. Interested in being our next guest? Connect with us at editor@smartmeetings.com.